just cause. Let me see, make sure this is correct. Okay, that should be good. Alrighty. So first, you're going to introduce yourself, who you are, where you're from, and where you received your education from, and what major.
First of all, okay, my name is Robert R Gatlin. I'm from Tampa, Florida. After graduating from Middleton Senior High School in Tampa, I matriculated to Houston, Texas to attend Texas Southern University.
And your major.
My major was industrial technology. Oh, shit.
What made you, what made you go with the major of industrial technology?
At the time, I had several interests. Dealing with basically construction management. Also had still had a deep interest as a former athlete, in coaching.
Mm-hmm.
And the situation after graduating and becoming an employee of Texas Southern University, I became an assistant coach, which was one of my lifelong dreams also. And it seemed to have stuck more so than anything else. I was asked to be an assistant to the legendary Dave Whitney, who went on to, he was a brother coach at the time, and then he moved to Alcorn, which got all kinds of NC2A records in terms of victory. That's why I said he's a legendary coach. And all the opportunities seem to have been around athletics. So after I started in it, I kind of liked it and just stuck with it. Then when Dave Whitney left, Moreland got the job. He came to me and asked me to be an assistant, and I continued on. And the rest is history. After becoming an assistant under Moreland, I became the head coach for the women while still being an assistant coach for the men's basketball team. And spent, the next 30, 31 some odd years coaching. So it's just been in the blood. And I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the relationship with the student athletes. I just enjoy seeing them grow from the time they enter TSU until their maturity during the 4 years and graduated and became productive citizens. It's always was fun to just watch that happen see how much they had grown over the years and how mature they had become and how knowledgeable about the game. There are a lot of people that play the game, but they're not students of the game. So it's about teaching and learning. So.
Okay. What job titles did you have coming out of with the major of industrial technology?
Matter of fact, I worked that as a sideline.
Okay.
I had, it was always a part-time kind of thing.
Gotcha. So coaching was first, and then
my first job at TSU was assistant director of the student center, along with the coaching assignment. Second job, I became director of housing. All the while, I'm still coaching. And the background and all the management courses just helped me along the way with all of those things, because it's about really managing people and situations. So the common denominator is the same in everything that you do. Okay. And thirdly, I became director of the physical plant at TSU, which was a challenge.
Say that again.
Director of the physical plant. Physical plant, they call it. That's the whole campus. In other words, all of the maintenance components who reported to me. Carpenters, plumbers, electricians, locksmith, custodial staff. In other words, you had the responsibility of managing all the people that kept the campus going. The central plant, which deals with AC and heating, all that was under my supervision. You see, that's what I meant by all of the management courses and things. All that kicked in because it was the same principles are the same in managing people, organizing. In other words, another is about organization and administration. Coaching is really about organization and administration. So you got to organize your practice, you got to administer how you're going to operate. You have to set rules, and schedules and that kind of thing. And that was the same thing. It's repetitive in almost everything you do. So once you have an opportunity to develop those skills, you pretty much could be successful in anything that you do if you look at it from that perspective. Because if you look at most of your leaders now, I don't care what position they hold, you look at politicians, look at the background, all of them, most have been athletes.
Mm-hmm.
And see, one thing about athletics is that it gives you the discipline because of the regimentation, the expectations. You're always on a time schedule. And there are certain things that you got to dedicate yourself to. And I found out that there were 3 things that could make you successful. 3 simple words if you take it to the full extent. Dedication, determination, and desire. You have to be dedicated to the task at hand. You have to have the determination to become the very best, or you get the very best out of what you have available. And you got to have that deep down desire to attain the aforementioned, the 2 other things I just mentioned.
Okay. Although I've heard most of these things, you're answering pretty much all of my questions without me asking, but one of the last couple of questions I have was, which exactly was your first job becoming a head boss? So which was your first job becoming a supervisor? No, the first one was assistant director of the student senate. So it was the second job, the director of housing. Was that the first job you had where you were top
Well,
of the chain?
all of them I was supervising somebody, but it was like first step. Maybe when I was assistant director, I had this student staff that report, like people that were on work stuff.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so you those were some students.
And then the other job, the second job that I got, director of housing, that was overall the housing on campus, all the personnel that went along with the housing. So that's where the real challenge came. And then you gain some experiences from those things. You find out a whole lot about people and personalities, and you have to always know your personnel in order to get the very best and to become a unified organization. You have to know your personnel. Same thing with coaching. I don't care what kind of players you get, you got to know how to deal with each one of them. So you got to know your personnel.
How important was it to be interactive with the people that not only worked under you on a day-to-day basis, but the people that you worked around in the environment?
Well, luckily I was always in a college environment. Later on in life, but it's basically the same educational environment. When I found out early on, you have to establish relationships with people. There's what you call a formal relationship where you respect the chain of command. And then there's that informal relationship where the people working in various phases of things that contribute to the success of what you're doing. The actual people that are doing those jobs, you have informal relationships where you can just talk to them and get some things done. The formal thing is the procedure. You got to have a requisition. You got to send a memo. That's formal. But if you got a relationship with people where you can go in there and pick up the phone and call and talk to them, your stuff may come off the bottom of that stack and go on top. So that's important. In other words, informal relationships are more or less respecting the people that perform in various jobs that contribute to the success of your program.
Okay, last two. What motivated you every day to strive for excellence in the job field that you partook in?
Well, it's a combination of things that you have to develop. And it comes from the kinds of discipline that you've always had, like I mentioned earlier. Always respect what people expect of you. And the things that they expect of you is to be responsible, be punctual, be respectful, and of course, be honest and fair. I know I just been a wordsmith, but that's like all those things they go together as one.
Mm-hmm.
You can't just be one-sided. You got to have a mix of all of it.
Gotcha.
You got to know when to hold and know when to fold.
Last question. As a graduate student in the Health and Kinesiology department, what are some critical points that you could give myself to be successful in my career path as a potential supervisor and or coach and teacher?
I think all the things that I've already said is pretty much what's going to be able to make you successful. That is, you must respect people. People skills are very important in the journey to success. Be responsible. Be fair. Be dutiful to the task given.
right. And that's it.
Go ahead and end this
That
video.
goes another thing you